In today's sewing tutorial, I will be showing you how to hack your sewing pattern to add an inseam pocket that is anchored at the waist. This is a stronger pocket, great if you like to carry your phone in there, and it stops the weight distorting the skirt. I'll also discuss how to add a zip to the same seam, so there are plenty of options. My name is Elfie Sew. I create sewing tutorials for complete beginners all the way to anyone looking to improve their sewing skills with new techniques. Please hit subscribe to get notifications of new videos to learn and join in. To begin, we're going to draft our new pocket bags. You need to get your front skirt pattern piece, place this on the table, and your inseam pocket pattern piece. Don't worry if the pattern you are hacking has no pockets at all. I'll first show you how to draw your own. To begin, we need to mark the location of the pocket on the skirt front. Typically, your pocket will begin about 10 centimetres below your waist seam. Measure on your body and figure out what feels comfortable. The pocket opening itself is then 15 centimetres down from this mark. These are our 2 notches for our pockets. Next, place a piece of paper over the top, aligning the long edge with the skirt pattern. We need to construct the flap that goes into the seam allowance. The dimensions of this will match your seam allowance. Read your pattern to find out. I'm using a seam allowance of 5/8 inch. Mark a depth of 5/8 inch. Then we need our notch, so we can align it with what we have marked on our skirt. So mark a notch, a seam allowance width from this. Then we mark a second notch at 15 centimetres, our pocket opening size. Followed by a 5/8 inch deep line, 5/8 inch from our notch. This is your pocket access. Place your hand in your imaginary pocket flat on the table and draw a nice large shape around. Leave a gap at the edge because this shape includes your seam allowance for constructing your pocket. Make it as big as you need. Test to see if your foam fits in the shape or whatever you usually carry to decide on the size. Cut this out. You now have a regular pocket you can use on nearly any pattern with a straight edge. Next, we're going to convert this to a waist anchored pocket. If you are using a pattern that started with pockets, this will be the first step for you. Get another piece of paper and attach it to the top of your pocket bag pattern so it extends beyond the waistline. I use masking tape as you can draw on it. Place it below the skirt with the notches aligned. Trace around the skirt waistline edge like this. We now have the skirt shape. See how it looks. To complete it, use your ruler and connect the outer edge of the pocket in a smooth line up to the waistband. Cut this out, and that's our waist anchored pocket pattern piece. I am going to show you how to construct the pocket in a manner that allows you to then have it on a regular seam, or to go forward and also have an invisible zipper opening on the same seam. If you haven't already watched, please go and check out my video of how to sew an inseam pocket with zipper. It goes into lots of detail on getting a neat finish. I'll place the link in the description and above for you. Today's video is slightly more brief, but it is covering the steps so you can see how it differs from a waist anchored pocket to a standard inseam pocket. To start, you can place a 1-inch wide strip of iron-on interfacing onto the wrong side of the skirt front long edge, covering the notches. This is helpful for thin fabrics and can prevent wrinkles. I won't be doing that here as my cotton is quite thick and stable. That is covered in the video above if you wish to see that process. Align your pocket bag at your notches on your skirt front right sides together. Take a fabric marker and your ruler and measure a box beginning and ending on your notches. The box will be based on your seam allowance, in our case 5/8 inch. You want to begin your seam allowance distance either side. Make it as deep as your seam allowance. We're going to sew along this line like this. You may have to move your pins around during this and reapply them at the end ready for sewing. Remember to backstitch at the beginning and end to secure your stitches. At the corner, leave your needle down and lift your presser foot. Pivot your fabric and then lower your footer again. Do this at both corners. Cut away the fabric inside this box, snipping into the corner. Make sure you don't cut any threads. If you do, you'll get a hole in your end pocket. Turn the pocket to the other side and press. We're going to understitch at 1/8 inch from this line, beginning and ending at the notches. Don't go beyond them. Remember here, I'm using a contrast thread so that you can see, but you should use a thread that matches your fabric. Turn the pocket to the other side, helping out the corners. Go back and clip further if you need. Press this nice and flat. You can check at this point that your pocket bag top aligns up with your waistline seam. Take your second pocket bag and align it on top, right sides together. Insert your pins so they only catch the pocket bags, not the front skirt section. We're going to sew from this point here at the corner of the box we made, around the exterior of the pocket to the waist point here. This is best done with the pocket down, folding back the skirt layer so you don't catch it. We're only sewing the pocket bags in this seam. Now, in the seam allowance above the pocket, sew up to the top edge. This time you will sew all 3 layers, pocket bags and the skirt front. Press and finish your raw edges with your desired method. You could use pinking shears, an overlocker, or with a zigzag stitch on your regular machine. This will prevent fraying. Go around the pocket bag and then do the straight edge of the skirt. Finish with a press. The pocket is secured with the opening here. Pin the top of the pocket to your waist point, and I like to secure this with a row of base stitches now in my seam allowance. This makes it easier to work with for the rest of the construction of my garment. The steps you take next will depend on your chosen pattern's garment construction. For most, it will involve attaching the skirt front to the skirt back, sewing just on the edge of our pocket opening. You'll then attach the skirt to your bodice at the waistline, catching the top of the pocket and locking it in. You'll then finish the top raw edge together with the waist seam. You can also proceed to insert a zip now. I have a video showing you how to do this with a pocket on the same seam. It is the exact same method once you have your pocket attached at this stage. So check that out now if you want to proceed to that step. I hope you have learnt and feel confident to go and give this a go for yourself. I have a series of videos now on pockets and zippers, combining the various techniques as you need for your garment. Do check out all the variations, and at the end you'll have mastered how to get that neat professional finish reliably. If you have liked and enjoyed today's sewing tutorial and would like to learn more, please like and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest videos. I create sewing tutorials for complete beginners all the way to anyone looking to improve their sewing skills with new techniques. Happy sewing!